Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily NVIDIA report for Friday, April 19th, 2024. Let's take a look at the charts. I'm going to show you the weekly chart here, and that takes you back 5 years or so. Just to, I can take you through the sequence of events. If you are a wickedstocks.com subscriber, you know we presented subscribers a long-term buy signal almost a year ago, May of last year, when we closed above this classic channel top at 405.20. It held to the downside actually last autumn before the market continued onto the full channel extension. That was a target that we had as our next big picture objective of being in sort of no man's land and in terms of previous price activity, all-time highs. So 665.15, we took it out quite easily on the way up, but it held on the way down for a retest several weeks later. A new all-time high about a month and a half ago. We've been falling away, but mostly in the consolidated framework ever since. We have a descending channel structure, the base of which on the weekly chart is 831.08, 959.07. I'm going to take you to the daily chart and show the same right now, and that is 825.50. You can see 3-star weekly support. 3 stars means can contain weekly selling pressures, and above which I'm going to say that 957.41 channel top remains a 2 to 3 week target. Unless we close below 825.50, there's really nowhere to go but 957.41 in my opinion. On the way up, we do have resistance levels. The most notable one in terms of a pivot point through next week and into later April would be 902.59. Now, with present volatility, we could reach 902.59 over the next couple of days. And who knows, maybe close above it that very same day, in which 2 to 3 days later we're at 957.41. So when I say 2 to 3 week swing trade, with the kind of volatility that NVIDIA is capable of, this could be within a full week of activity, depending. But I actually would just I'm assuming that that's not going to be the case. That would be an extreme event. We've seen it in the last few months, but I'm not expecting it. What I do say, though, is 825.5 able to contain selling through next week, above which 902.59 should be considered a 3 to 5 day target, 957.41 a 2 to 3 week target. And if we were to close above the 902.51 formation over the next few days, just another 2 to 3 to 5 days before reaching that objective at 957.41, where we could top out on a weekly basis and perhaps fall away again back into the mid 820s. We could trade inside this structure for the next month or two. I don't think we will. At one point, the market is going to tip its hand one direction or another. But let's continue with the upside scenario, at least for today. I have 870.39 as a newly formed descending 1/3 speed line, newly formed because it's based in part on Thursday's low. So it takes into account the extremes from the March high against yesterday's low, the 1/3 pullback. We draw a trend line from the high at the point in which the 33.3% upside retracement exists, and then we continue with that over time. And so in other words, the 33.3% retracement is the red line on Thursday. On Friday, it drops a bit to 870.39. You can see over here to the far right that is an area that can contain intraday buying, and below which, or once tested, we can fall back to 825.50. We could trade inside of this area, possibly for the day itself, but just know we came off of meaningful support at 825.50, anticipating 957.41 over the next several weeks, and so a violation to the upside of 870.39 is considered likely over the next day or two. And if today, we could, by the closing bell, reach 902.51. In fact, I do think that pushing or opening above 870.39, you should expect 902.59 intraday. These are solid day trade levels. The 825.50 level is also a solid 2 to 3 week swing trade level. Also a solid 3 to 5 day swing trade level up to 902.51. 2 to 3 week swing trade up to 957.41. If we merely close above 870.39 today, we should on Monday test 902.59, where we could top out on a daily basis, possibly fall away from here back into the mid 820s within 3 to 5 days. So you never know exactly how the market's going to behave, but I don't want to call this a 3-star weekly resistance level at 902.59, despite the fact that it just might contain weekly buying pressures because of the significance of having come off of this trend support, this channel support, once again at 825. 902.50. 902.59 is a solid day trade level and perhaps a 3 to 5 day swing trade level for taking profits from 825.50 or going short at 902.59. But if we close above 902.59, our targeted 2 to 3 week objective at 957.41 becomes a mere 2 to 3 to 5 day objective where we could top out on a weekly basis. If we close above 957.41, I don't have it diagrammed yet. I just want to wait for the low to go in so we can really see it. But it really is, if you take a trend line off these lows and come across like this and project that trend line off of this high, it will look something like this. It would be in the low 1100 handle. If we were to close above 957.41, it would be the low 11 handle and climbing. That would become our next 2 to 3 to 5 week target. But we're nowhere near that right now. In fact, this image, I should present the downside scenario, because if we break 825.50, we could. I'm not expecting it, but we could. And if we do break 825.50, 794.76 is likely intraday. This is a descending 2 to 3 week channel bottom that can contain session weakness. But I'm going to say that if we close today below 825.50, you should prepare for 693.84, which is a full channel extension to the downside of the 825 half to 957.41 structure. So closing below 825.50, if you went long over the 3 to 5 day scenario, expecting 902.59, or if you went long over the 2 to 3 week scenario, expecting 957.41, if we do close today below 825.50, you should prepare for the 665.01 to 693.84 region. And by prepare for, I mean at least exit long positions and consider playing the short side. If you're comfortable being short the stock, or if you're comfortable reaching for out-of-the-money puts, this would be a 2 to 3 week play to the downside. You could consider, for instance, reaching for 670, 690 strike out-of-the-money puts that don't expire. I would go a couple of months out on that expiration date at least. This is the better part of 2 to 3 weeks before realizing the objective, where we actually could bottom out by that point in time through May and round back up again. I think I've covered it all. I don't think there's really anything else to be said. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. If you're looking for that Apple analysis, we have it on the platform, the wickedstocks.com. Subscribing will provide you that information you may have appreciated over the last couple of years, but we're now doing NVIDIA on a daily basis. Thank you for watching. Click like, share, subscribe. I'll be back Sunday afternoon with Monday's NVIDIA report. You have a great weekend.